All right. Hope everybody's right. Nice to meet you. Glad to have you here. Hope you have a good time in your matches. Good luck. Or most importantly of all, get it right. We'll probably start off with a Nardu match as usual. So for those who are in today's tournament, good luck. Those who don't play or haven't played yet in one of these new player tournaments, do take the chance. Time, even if you literally just picked up the game today. So it may be intimidating with Conquest, rather than new game mode. It's a lot easier. Hop in on these, a lot less. See the factions we have today. So the Vampire Codes from Nardu, they're going to be going up against a Corn player. As for everybody else, check it out. We have a Lizardman player, which finally I've been asking for a Lizardman player. I'm waiting. Oh, it's Guild. Hey, look at that, Guild Eric playing Lizardman. Good luck. I hope to see you in the finals. Please do make it. We also have Bongo playing the Greenskins. We have one of the Korean players playing Norska. Pretty cool. Chaos Dwarf from Stelios or Son of Heaven. Deep Dark, another Korean player, is playing Bretonia. And B6A6 is playing Kislev. Why are they playing Kislev? I don't know. Like they're asking everybody to not have fun. But they're doing it. And they should be ashamed. Ash is playing Empire. Joy Boy is playing Beastman. We also have Impenetrable. I'm gonna say that's how it's pronounced. Playing High Elves. We have Dark Elves as well. Tomb Kings. Leech. More Chaos Dwarves. So 2 Chaos Dwarves. Another High Elf. So double High Elves today. And some Nurgle. A dreaded single Nurgle player. Good luck to them. Generally, Nardu's opponent, the Corn player, is relatively new. So, taking a little while to get into the problem. You better. You're the one repping the Lizardman out here. I need this. I haven't played so long. It hurts that I haven't won with Lizardman or seen a good Lizardman win. I expect greatness from All a part of the great plan, of course. Look at that. We got salty potato in. Wonderful. Corn versus Coast. If it wasn't for potato being a lot newer than Nardu, I would say Corn has a pretty good chance at killing Coast. But Nardu, apparently this is Nardu's best faction. And again, salty potato is. We'll see how things go, but I expect Coast to win. Corn just has generally much better infantry. Death Guard obviously can pick up a fight, but if you bring any great weapon, Chaos Warriors, or any great weapon variants, Death Guard will lose that. Or trade down badly. So you have your crabs, Vampire Coast. You also have, well, you're just relying a lot on your monsters infantry and your guns when you're, as Corn will swarm and surround you and crush your flanks and cut down your range. Very fast infantry, very fast, mobile, monstrous infantry, minotaurs, and have a lot of flyers with, of course, Furies. Get onto your backline really quickly. And if, like, say, Scarbrand is chosen, have your, of course, his rage mechanic, his rage ability, which can basically force an engagement or like or a couple of range units out formation, force him to engage. Pretty detrimental for any ranged heavy factions like Vampire Coast who need their formations to stay locked in place. So essentially what I'm saying, Corn is pretty good in this matchup long as they can deal with backline. They can deal with the backline, everything else. Crabs are a menace, yes, but you have throwing axes, you have your Lord, you have halberds with Chaos Warrior. You have plenty of answers to crabs. Don't get me wrong, crabs are incredibly good and will definitely do the game as the Vampire Coast. But if the smart and methodical with their choices and what they engage with, or rather pick off first, then Corn definitely have the upper hand. Gotta see if you can protect their back line. See how it goes. Ardu, this is the tournament. Win it all. Calling it. Also, you said you have a profile picture today. Did you have the Beast of Nurgle last one? Unless you throw Nardu, this is your tournament. Guarantee it. Credit story. Stamped. Written. Already sealed the bill. It matters not. That picture is great. I freaking love that Beast Nurgle picture so much. I also love salty potatoes. It's literally a Skaven, a storm vermin, really chunky one. Bernardo, good luck. Your opponent's ready. Get things rolling. Let's see the toast. Take some win. Luck. Have fun to the both of you. All right. For corn today, we do have Valkia with Spear Slapnir and Demon's Shield. Rest is in Karanak. Karanak. Oh no, that's not good. Did I get kicked out? Did Pierce dropped? Drop? I have. I'll message Nardu. Oh, they're both here. Again, I'll back out, I suppose. Oh, Nardu messaged me. They were making because for some reason it put Alpine Ridge. Yeah, it should not have been Alpine Ridge. I just realized that. I was not paying attention. It was freaking Alpine Ridge. That's like generally one of the worst maps in the game. I also just realized this isn't Conquest either. So 2 mess ups in a row. But what can you do? Okay, yeah, they're restarting again. R2 isn't the new player, right? Totally not. Potato is definitely the new player for sure. It matters not if the build is shown on screen because they've already seen each of the builds. Yardu is on something today. So excited to play Ghost. There we go, finally. Correct map. It's Conquest. Let's do it. I guarantee you Nardu just woke up again. Alright. As I was saying, we have Karanak today for those who don't know how good Karanak is. Well, let me show you. So, here's a few things. One, he has an incredibly good item called Brass Collar of Bloody Vengeance. An insanely good item which I really hate. Basically, it has an aura that procs silenced which is a debuff on an enemy, which means that they can't use their abilities. It also negates magical weapons within the effect area. So it's a 55-meter range. Normally it shows the range. Highlight the reason it's not showing today. But yeah, it's a pretty big range for the item. He also has Endless Hunter, which reveals all units. So any hidden units, stocked units, etc., they will show up. I think that's a. I don't think it's a pat. I think it's a passive. I can't remember. Yeah, it's passive ability right there. Literally just right there. Dreaded Saurian. So any infantry, any units within 55-meter range, he'll see them. He'll spot them. He'll sniff them out. He also has Karenak's Howl, which can summon a unit of Flesh Hounds, which is pretty good. And he has Prey of the Blood God, a net that does damage. Basically damage equivalent to a Spirit Leech, or I can't remember if it's less than that. It got changed, rather the damage got reduced. I don't remember if it's still equivalent to a Spirit Leech or not. But nonetheless, he's fast, 95 speed, solid leadership, decent weapon strength, or pretty good weapon strength, but not a lot of armor piercing. So he's a decent fighter, can catch out casters, snipe them out. Yeah, it's persistent, it's very annoying. I don't like Karenak. Annoying. There he goes, there's the range. But there we go. For the rest of the army, we have Marauders, Chaos Warriors, the heavy armored Chaos Warriors to help fight the undead chaff of Vampire Coast. We also have some Chaos Furies to jump on that back line, and a single unit of Minotaurs of Khorne, great weapons, and Exalted Bloodletters of Khorne. So we'll absolutely brutalize any depth guard if they get on top of them. So I think they'll take some decent damage on turn, as they only have 34 melee defense, and obviously with them being Bloodletters, don't have a lot of armor. But they do have Fizz Res, so mitigates 20% of that depth guard damage. Rider Horsemen as well to help deal with any crabs, of course. For the coast side, we do have Count Noctilus. He is going to be on foot. He does have Drown Dead for that zombie summon. Melkos for that slow. It's just a really good spell, and it does damage. Moon Dial for those more zombie summons. And Wraith Storm. The rest of the army is going to be a whole bunch of deckhand mobs. The Tithe of Skjold. Skilled. I don't know why I said Skjold. Anyways, they have Rowdy and yeah, it gives them Perfect Vigor and Leadership. They're nice ROR. Black Spot, a ROR handgun unit, which has anti-large. And more handgunners. They're going to be shooting right ahead at the Marauders. Chaos Warriors, which are... I'd prefer that they shot at both at the Chaos Warriors, because that armor piercing is better into the Chaos Warriors rather than just playing on Marauders. Especially considering they also have bronze shields. Both of them do. I think Chaos Warriors have silver, so they'll be mitigating 55% of those shots. But yeah, that's why I prefer you shooting it. If you're gonna be shooting at shielded units, might as well shoot at the Chaos Warriors. But we also have the Lamprey's Revenge, one of their best units in that entire roster. More handgunners on this side, and some gunnery mobs over here. Crabs have taken a tremendous amount of damage from those horsemen, and that's why I said the Khorne does have answers. Crabs, Rider Horsemen, and as you see, it's not so far. But they're going to try to surround and collapse on the Pistoliers. We'll see how it goes. We have a summon coming in to try to lock down those cultists and those Marauders. Try to help keep the handgunners away. Handgunners, Black Spot continue to shoot in once again, and it does a solid damage into those Minotaurs. Valkyria is going to jump down, however, and try to disrupt them and stop them from shooting. This is pretty good. Really well played by Khorne, as they shut down the gunnery mob and stop them from shooting. And now it's going to collapse, and that unit is going to be disintegrating. Unfortunately, I do have a call. That's going to disrupt my casting. I very apologize about that, but sorry about that. I had an emergency. Anyways, yes, the Black Spot being shut down is very unfortunate, but They got some damage out, which is decent enough, and it required a lot of corn, to put a lot of investment into shutting those guys down. They still have 54 models, and they can regen, or they can get some health back with Noctilus's healing. But at this point, it's not really worth it, as they're going to be dragged down slowly. If they can get out and stabilize, then it might be worth it. But the horsemen do get caught out by the soaring axes, and they had shut down the pistoliers. But yeah, they definitely need to get away from this engagement here, go around and continue shooting, throwing their axes in at the gunnery mob, while there's no other range units to punish them. There are some gunnery mob here which got summoned in, but those can be shut down by Karanak. Karanak honestly should probably, I would say, yeah, this is fine, considering Karanak, if they chased after Noctilus does have anti-large, and Karanak is a large target, so it's not really worth it for Karanak to be sent that way. But it is worth it to stay within his vicinity so he can't cast any spells. I think it's much better to keep him back here in his back line. Exactly what you want him to do. But these throwing axes do definitely need to come over and get on top of these gunnery mobs, on top of these crabs. The Corntors are coming back, and they are relatively healthy. They have 16 models still left. Barely lost that much damage, like a quarter or so. So they have plenty more potential of damage to put in still. These bloodletters are losing engagement, really. They shouldn't be fighting these crabs. Send these marauders in to fight the crabs instead, and keep your more expensive infantry, elite killing infantry over here, chopping down the rest of the undead, because the undead need to be shut down. It's much more important to cleave through the rest of the chaff. You can get through and proc army losses, because the exalted bloodletters aren't going to do much damage to crabs. As you can see, the Lamprey's Revenge took so much damage from the miniatures of Gorn, who do have really good bonus versus large stats. At 85 AP with 25 bonus versus large, it's exactly what they want to be engaging with. That's the perfect unit that they want to get on top of, because they'll shut them down really quickly. They took a lot of damage in return, however, from the pistol mobs and from the shotgun mob, from the shotguns themselves, from the Rotten Prometheans. But it was definitely a worthwhile trade. These throwing axes got sent away and are being chased off by Depth Guard polearms. They also have some more deckhand mobs facing off their marauders. Buttering mobs trying to get on top of Valkia there as she tries to chase down Count Noctilus. But if she just stays in combat and finishes off the Lamprey's Revenge, I think that's a pretty good choice there. But instead she's going to run away. I don't know why. She's taking shots in the back meanwhile, which isn't a lot of damage, but she definitely just finish off the Lamprey's Revenge. She has that bonus versus large, so might as well. And it'll, get some of that mass off the field. Oof, Minotaurs get hit by the Melkos, slowing them down, which gives the gunnery mobs time to shoot at them. Pretty nice combo there. And now, Corntors are going to be taking damage from those gunnery mobs and from Noctilus themselves as they get surrounded. But we do have the Exalted Bloodletters coming in to aid in that fight. The Corntors will probably be shut down here soon, but I definitely think it'll probably be going to Khorne. Really well played here by Salty Potato. Good effort by Nardu, but yeah, this Depth Guard definitely should have been chasing off after these horsemen either. They should have been around to help aid with the Corntors. That wasn't the only issue. The main issues, of course, as I was describing before, is that Khorne is really good at surrounding and has fast swarming infantry, which is perfect against Coast. So the win does Salty Potato a Valkia. Valkia at 1381. Solid work there from Valkia. She is a pretty good pick here if you don't want to go with Scarbrand, as she does have that Spear of Slapnir, which can rip through any Depth Guard or range components of the Vampire Coast. And then, of course, she has a Spear of Slapnir, and she's just very durable. I mean, her Spear of Slapnir, her shield. And she's just very durable in general, and she has bonus versus large. You can just fight crabs all day. Help deal with depth guard. The only issue, obviously, with Valkia is that she is an infantry-sized lord, so she can get body blocked by crabs very, very easily. Body blocker. But otherwise, she's fantastic. 1073 here on the Exalted Bloodletters. Really well played there by Korn, making sure to pull out those Exalted Bloodletters and make sure to put them in that right spot up against Chaff and other elite elite infantry of the depth guard. That's exactly where they want to be. During Nexus, this one did fantastic as they shut down one of the crabs. The other one not so much, as they got sent into pole arms or got caught out by pole arms and were routed off. But they still got 300 value, nothing too shabby. 800 from the Furies and 1248 from the Minotaurs. Minotaurs did great, as well as that initial engagement. The Korn player pulled back the Minos because they were being shot at, so it helped make sure that they were healthy enough for the late game where they could shut down any important crab units or large units. 750. Oh, so yeah, the depth guard got shut down. One of them was sent after, unfortunately, was chasing after a horseman, which was quite unfortunate because they needed to be there to help out with the engagement with the Minotaurs, as a lot of their range units had been shut down. Range component did not do all that great. 300 here, 656 here on the black spot. 717 and 1429 Lampert's Revenge always pretty much picking up their value, as they're just that good. Unless you really fumble them, they're pretty much always going to pay for themselves. But well job to both players. Solid match. Kislev. I don't blame you. Kislev is a tough match for anybody. I've actually played that matchup somewhat recently. Not somewhat recently, probably within last month or two, probably 2 months. I don't remember. But it's a very, very tough matchup, and I do not envy you at all. But hey, you made it a close one. That's pretty good. Good job. Good effort. All right. See how everybody else's matches are going. The bracket. Try if I get. I think. I would say honestly, Ghost could have a better chance again. Despite Kislev being one of the best factions, the best faction in right now, I think Nardu, I think against Born a little tougher with the amount of pressure they put on you, but definitely think. But you are up against Impenetrable, whoever that is. Everybody, by the way, your matches are ready. Round 2 is up. Yoda Rick, you're up against Rogue Consultant, which I think is I think they're playing High Elves. I could be wrong. I don't know who Impenetrable is playing. Got some replays here. Those. Files. Hey, better than Kislev. And Nardu, I'm going to spectate game between Rogue and Gil. Is obviously I gotta see Lizardman, but I will catch your replay. Catch. Cast. I don't know. Words hard. Now, speaking of this match, so Isle versus Lizardman. I think this is I'd say this is pretty even. It completely depends on the builds here. With the Fireborn being the way they are, and Soul Engines being as good as they are right now, I think it's a toss up. It really just depends on the builds, the lore choice, engagements. Because overall, if the Hive player plays it right with the Fireborn, utilize their targets properly with their archer unit, if they bring any white line, will beat Saurus and obviously crump on inks. But if the Lisbon player brings Croxies, obviously they could help out that fight. But the issue is obviously Croxy will be shot at by archers or run down by the Fireborn or Dragon Princess they're brought. Caught out by any nets or yeah, they can be caught out by any nets, cow charge, shot at. But they can help with that engagement generally. The High have a lot of good matchup. I think so for the Lizardmen as well. As I said, Soul Engines are incredibly good right now for some reason. Just as they were in Warhammer 2. And very, very solid right now with that blinded mechanic. But obviously they still have lands which are still pretty good. Despite their HP nerf and despite Root Rule nerfing them by making them a rare single entity. Lizardmen still have a lot of potential with Lan, and then it just means you can take one less rare single entity than usual. So You take a slime, you take, say if you take a solar engine, say you take a rev crystal. There you go. Pretty good at it. All right. For the high elves, you have mind the barking dogs. By the way, obviously you're gonna hear them whenever I'm talking, and it's unfortunate, but that's what can you do? Chihuahua and other bigger dogs. Anyways, for World Consultant, Teclis will be leading the high elves today. We have Sword of Teclis, Block of Doom, Regrowth, and Net. We also have Arcane Conduit, Greater Arcane Conduit, and Flame. Whenever using Burning Head or anything like that, you generally bring Kindle Flame, but the opponent did not bring in Burning Head or that. But Kindle Flame will help out with whenever they're casting in general. The fire damage will benefit the Fireborn to do flaming attacks. Fireborn and Illyrian Reavers will be the cav on the right hand flank. We also have some more Illyrian Reavers on the left hand flank as well. They're okay. Much better than Silverhelms in terms of cost ratio at the moment. They just perform much better for their price. For the infantry, we do have Silver Guard and Spearmen. Talons of Torquilada, so going all in on the fire damage. We have they give weakness flammable to any units that they shoot at. So they also do fire damage, so really amps up their damage overall. Plus combo that with Evergreen's Court Guards, who also do flaming attacks plus magical and pretty good AP. Some pretty nasty combo. We also have White Lions to deal with any source. For the Lizard side, we do have a Slann Shadows with Pit of Shades, the Bound Banishment, Melkos, Great Arcane Conduit, Shield of the Old Ones, Blood Statuette. Got limited down to 2 uses instead of 3, I believe. I don't remember if it was 3 or 4. It was 3. But nonetheless, Saurus Spears and a whole bunch of more Saurus. Skinks. Just, yes, double Saurus and Skinks on both flanks. And then some more, and then we have some Croxies as well, just the paddle variants. And we also have the Emerald Tide, which are stocked right now. The high elf player cannot see them at the moment. Ancient Salamander as well, plus Cold One Spear Riders and Chameleon Skinks, and some more Spear Riders on the right hand flank to help deal with any Reavers, and as they will beat them in combat with their bonus versus large and armor. There are Cold Ones as well, as you definitely need these speedy little devils with their armor piercing to get into that back line, even just help out in the engagements with White Lions, etc. Lizardman player definitely needs to pull some stuff back if they're not going to engage, because the Croxies are taking so much damage already. I definitely wouldn't be sending these things so early on, because the rest of your formation is not engaged or even in line to engage at the moment. So right now, the high player can just focus down these 3 units, and they'll be crushed immediately. Especially if you're sending Feral Cold Ones into Spear units who are braced, especially Silver Guard. Those Cold Ones are going to be absolutely devastated. And yeah, the Croxies annihilated. Yeah, flammable. Then hit with the Flock of Doom as well. And they shatter. They're about to shatter in a second. They're broken. And yeah, there they go. They're shattered. Skinks are gone as well. Alien Reavers get a charge in there on the Forest Warriors. But Umbral Tide also gets a beautiful volleys there into the Alien Reavers, shutting them down. Probably going to be routed here soon. Fireborn take a nasty Blast Switch out of Spite, and a bad engagement there with the Croxies and the Feral Cold Ones. They take tremendous amounts of damage, but they can get regrowth. The issue is how many models do they still have? 53? Yeah, they have plenty of models to... If they were down, like, to say half their models, it probably wouldn't be worth it. But considering how much models they still have, definitely really worth it to heal them up. As the models of a unit are how much damage the unit is going to do. Less models, not as worth it to replenish. Of course, are sitting on the point. We do have skinks getting into the infantry in combat right there. So overall, going, I think I would say better for the high elves, but things could change very quickly as we get a nasty pit of shades there on the spearmen, and we might have a banishment coming in here. Might rip through those silver guard as well. It does do some pretty solid work against the silver guard. Might even continue chasing after them as they move away, and it is. That's a pretty good banishment there. Very nice. We also have the Umbral Tide continuously shooting in on the White Lions, and then we have the Cold Spear Riders getting into that, getting a nice side charge there, putting that AP into those guys. Pretty good. But I would say that it was probably recommended to pull them out and send them around, but you do have the skinks there as well. Gotta get on top of those Talons of Torquelada or those Everqueen's Court guards, shut them down to stop them from shooting. These two are pretty important units. But Golden Spear Riders right now are fighting Alien Reavers and the Fireborn. Fireborn do get shut down as they take another Blood Statuette of Spite, and they only have 11 models left, down to 8, and they are definitely out of this game, unfortunately, for the High Elves. So not looking too great for them now that the Fireborn are gone. Balance of power looking relatively even, so probably a little more in favor of the Lizardmen as Yo is starting to ramp up and start shut down these important units. Might have another banishment coming down here, which might do a little friendly fire damage, or it's a Pit of Shades. It is doing a little friendly fire to the Cold Spear Riders, but a lot more to the Talons of later. It's barely doing much to the Spear Riders. Yeah, those Talons got absolutely shut down to a quarter of their HP, and not looking great for them. I mean, Skinks taking some fire from the System of Avalon, but they do have missile resistance compared to the regular Skink skirmishers. They have 40% missile resistance, which helps out a lot when being shot down by the missiles of the System of Avalon. Alien Reavers do get in a charge there on the Umbral Tide, which is about time because the Umbral Tide were putting some decent work in and needed to be shut down a lot quicker. But once you do get on top of them, once you engage them, they're not great in melee. They can be shut down very quickly, especially if they're getting support from their Sea Guard. But as a Lizardman player here, you need to pull these guys out, send those Source Warriors to block them up, and there we go, pull them out. Then the Source Warriors to screen out the Silvern Guard or the Spearmen and Alien Reavers, so you can keep these Umbral Tide shooting and keep them out of the range of the Lothar Sea Guard as well. Million Skinks going around, finding some more things to shoot at the moment. We do have a banishment going down on the Evergreen's Court Guards, and they are out of ammunition, however, so it matters not. They can hold their own in melee and probably beat the Source. Not entirely sure. We do have a Pit of Shades coming down, which is doing some pretty decent damage there, as quite a few of their models are still stuck in that location, but not going to be as impactful. All the Sea Guard are almost out of ammunition as well. They only have 4 volleys left. Show that the other one's going down. Protect those Croxagors, keep them in the combat a little bit. And that +8 leadership and another 16 from Cold Blooded. That's very nice, comboing those two, as they definitely needed that leadership for sure. Keeping in that engagement, fighting those Spearmen. But it does seem like it'll be going to the Lizardmen. Well played to the High Elf. Well played to Rogue Consultant. And very well played to Gil. Love to see a Lizardman win, trump over those snobby, pointy bastards. $422 here on Teclis, 1096 on the Fireborn. Yeah, unfortunately, losing these guys was pretty detrimental for the High Elves, as they really need them to help deal with the Spear Riders and even the Croxies, despite the wonderful work from the Everqueen's Court Guards. That wasn't enough, but they did shut down that initial Croxagor unit, which is pretty good, shattering them. Issues the other one, and also dealing with the Umbral Tide and Salamander. I didn't even see the enemy Salamander shoot. but considering that they are still at full HP and got their 559 value, I imagine they did perfect. 1598. It's probably also what helped out with those cav engagements. Not sure though. Be wrong. As I generally find the salamanders like fireball to deal do much better into like heavy cav, as it doesn't have as much impactful like splash damage that like the say like the Umbral Tide do. So I generally find it better either shooting at elite infantry or just shooting at heavy cav, as it like knocks models down, like pushes through some models. But hey, good job there, Gil. Really well played, shutting down those pointy ears. Value wise, nothing. 37.95 on this land. Yep, just did fantastic there. That's land with the really good pit of shades, those banishments. Blood statue of spites on the fireborn were incredible. Definitely, whenever you send the fireborn into engagement like that, you definitely got to receive some healing there, as they're gonna be taking a lot of damage from blood statue. 1157 on these croc scores. Yeah, you can see the other one got 75, making it look pretty bad for the Lisbon at first, but things changed very quickly. 559, 932, which were pretty good there, despite not picking up an insane amount of value. They had they did solid work. Hopefully Nardu's going well. Let's see. Nardu is still playing against Impenetrable at the moment. Yeah, that's what turned things around a lot, was that initial cav engagement. That was incredible. That turned things around. Yeah, again, I was like a bit scared for you once you sent in that right side of your formation too early on. But good job focusing there on the fireborn. Sure, it's very much possible for the high elves to still win. They lose their fireborn early on, as I've seen it before. But they're very impactful in that matchup, as you don't have, especially when you only have leaders left, your cav. They had another Dragon Prince, things could have been maybe different. But yeah, that was pretty solid there. That turned things around completely. Have engagement on the left hand flank. Already sent me the replay. Close mother effing game, they said. Against Impepinal, Ghost versus Io. Forward to checking it out. Alright, so we have 2 matches left. Salty Potato and Deep Dark and Son of Heaven. I think Chavio is... Let me just check real. Maybe getting named. Oh, Chavo is Boy Boy. For some reason, I thought Chavo was Gabriel, the other Vampire cosplayer, but I was confused there because I didn't recall the coast. Thanks, Michael. And what a game. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. Oh, you see you won it. Nice. Good job. 1-0, Nardu. Look at that. Told you could do it. Well, I mean, 1-0, obviously. But I'm just pointing out the score for the game. Don't you correct me. Play there from Helios and I haven't. Have Buffalo versus. Got all the replays so far. I put some respect on your name. Who named you the Undroppable? Me. All right, all the matches are finished. Gotta wait for dance. You are shambling. Yes. But you are still the Undroppable. Original name. Shambling Legs is just another name added to your list, just like Cetra. We're gonna have we're gonna have a grand list of names for you exit the player. Never be it. Couldn't see it. Never gonna happen. Don't see it happening. You do, yet you haven't played them? Curious. Interesting. Round 3 is live, everybody. Go find your matches. Yeah, ever bought? I think Tomb Kings is. Nobody can correct me on this. It is just the truth. It is the best DLC to. Vampire Coast is pretty dang close, like right up there, but Tomb Kings is fantastic, and this is a cool faction. You should play it. You should play that next time. You played the Shambling Dead this time. Play the what would you call it? Tomb Restless, Restful, and they definitely get their rest because obviously they arose thanks to their masters. I don't know. Desert Undead. No. Yikes. Alright, let's watch. Come on, send me the code. Let's see it. Give Papa Dreadasaurian the code. I'm waiting. I don't even need your code. What am I talking about? I'm just gonna hop in as soon as I see the freaking thing in the lobby. Kidding me? Simple as that. Up against computer. Nardu on the coast. Computer on Z. Never seen computer play before, but if they play Zenith right, I expect the worst for now. Unless they pull out one of my sneaky tricks I told them to. By sneaky tricks, I mean snibbity snab flaws. I don't know this matchup. I think Z has definitely up amount of pink fires and blue fires that still dominate matchups against Siege. Yeah, I don't Nardu. But we'll see. We'll see how computer pulls out here. We'll see what Nardu can. I guarantee you Nardu has some surprises for him. His shambling legs, Nardu. Got to put on their shambling legs today, not their fetid, ergal, pestilent body. I had to think of words there. That did not sound fluid at all. Nor did Nardu bring their savage war paint. Instead, they were rocking the coast. Instead of being tempted by Slanesh, instead of being tempted by Nibel's bountiful gifts, they bring their shambling legs today. Can Nardu do it? Can Nardu take out their damned birds? This is Nardu's arch nemesis, Zinch. Nardu live up to his potential. We'll see. All right, folks. Sorry about that. Water. Try to hydrate. But here we have for Zinj, we have blue fire, pink fire, and portal glyph. Spells and items of bird of Delta change. They also have greater arcane con as well for that power reach. We have Marauders, front line, and the severed claw firing war, solid anti-large AP specialized AT unit. Very, very tough to get, and would definitely help a lot with crabs. Also have Centaurs of Zinj, Dreamers, and Furies, plus Changebringer. So these guys are gonna be pretty deadly. They have the force protect them, but if they're able to stay out of the range of the Vampire Coast, once they finally get in and get their volley off, they could do some pretty substantial damage. Also, some more Senti, Screamers, and Furies on the other flank as well. Going for a wider approach. Player is how well it panned out. We have Luther Harkon, the anti-magic character. He's a magical void that spell resistance of 30% on his allies within 35 meters. Pretty decent. Range is a little bigger, but not too shabby. He also has Disrupted with his missiles, so it hits any characters he hits with those shots. It gives them silenced for, I think, like seconds or something. They can't use abilities. Oh no, why would you bring these straight wraith gunners? No, Nardu. Oh man, they took so much damage from that blue fire. Yeah, does he have his slant gold? No, he does Hornswaggle, and that is it. Pretty good nonetheless. Whole bunch of deckhand mobs. We also have hand cannons as well, plus a whole bunch of handgunners, and some cannons as well, plus Prometheans. Those be revenge. You do need some support from those deckhand mobs. You need to get around, get a flanking charge on top of those Sentis, though the Lamprey's Revenge are holding their own at the moment. Handgunners definitely need to turn around as well. But I understand Nardu's micro is stressed at the moment as their hand cannons are being shut down. Same with their gunnery mobs. Actually, they're not being shut down, but they are being occupied by these creep of Zinj at the moment. The hand cannons definitely are being shut down by these Furies, which is quite unfortunate. But we do have some support from the handgunners. Some of their shots may be blocked by trees, unfortunately. Is what it is. Painbringers get a beautiful side volley on those handgunners. Oh my god, that is so dirty, so nasty. Not sure if the carronades were worth it at all. Oh my god, man, those handgunners need to turn around and start shooting at those Changebringers. Same with these guys. They're much more important than the Furies and the other flyers at the moment. They need to turn around, get those shots in, slow those guys down with Hornswoggle, and hit them with Disrupted, reducing their physical resistance as well. The Changebringers are getting absolutely destroyed right now, down to 6 models and disintegrating, and there they go. As fast as they did damage, as they leave the battlefield. Carronades get shut down by the Furies, and we do have some deckhand mobs surrounding or trying to help out with those Furies, but the issue is carronades are shut down way too quickly as they don't have that great of HP pool and are terrible melee fighters. So still have one up. Those Chaos Furies will be disintegrating here soon, down to 1 second. There we go, and there goes a disintegration as they are a summon from the Bird of Zinj. These Furies jump in on top of these handgunners, shut those guys down, stop them from shooting. Balance of power is not looking so great for the Zinchian side. Definitely things can turn around with some nasty blue fires and pinks. You have a blue fire going down on the Luther Harkon. Not that great of damage there on that small target. Some of those missiles may have missed. Pink horror shooting in there on the backs of the deckhand mobs, but they need to go around. Same with the Severed Claw. Their potential here is just being wasted on these pole arms, who do have an AP as well. So on the occasion that they do hit, they are bringing down those shields a bit. But yeah, these guys have just been wasted back over here on this infantry engagement. This is not what they're specialized for. They should have been in the backline aiding with the Centaurs engagements or getting on top of handgunners, etc. because their shields could have eaten a lot of those shots. And once they got onto these infantry units and handgunners, gunnery mobs, it would have been very tough to pull them off, take them off. They could have screened them out with summons, of course, but do we even have a spellcaster for the Vampire Coast? I didn't even notice that. Vampire Coast player doesn't even have any spellcaster. Going full anti-spell. They didn't even have any spells to slow down or deal with the Silver Claw if they got into the back line. Obviously we have Hornswoggle, but Hornswoggle is basically being used on other things. Yeah, I am definitely surprised that Nardu brought the Shade Wraith Gunners here. Definitely not the opportune choice. But it seems Nardu was going for a more, not jokey, but more fun-ish thematic build, I suppose. I don't really know, but the Shade Wraith was not the right choice. Definitely. Pink Fire going down, and this gunnery mob's doing some solid work there on and gunners. But the bird is trying to stay out of the range of the range components of the Vampire Coast. But not looking too great. They don't have a lot left. They have a single unit of Centaurs, a patterned contingent of infantry units, including their pink horrors. We also have one more other Centaur, actually, so 2 Centaurs in total, both badly beaten up. And if they can get some engagements, be picking off some valuable targets like the gunnery mobs, rather Prometheans, then maybe things can turn around, but I really don't think it. I really don't think so. Sentinels do shut down those carronades. To be fair, the carronades weren't doing a whole lot anyways. Even if they do get shut down, it's not that big of a deal. I think it's very risky to bring the carronades against Siege in the first place, because what are you really going to shoot at, especially considering the amount of trees on this map, that they can just hide in them a lot of the times. Or you can keep the bird back. Let the bird, they have shields to mitigate some of those carronade shots. Plus, majority of the time, if you're not microing your bird around a lot as Siege, then what do you do? The amount of clicking I have to do when I'm playing Siege, right-clicking constantly, because I'm moving my bird or lord around everywhere because they're a flying unit generally, is insurmountable. That's pretty much what I'm doing with 40. So the carronade is going to miss all of their shots anyway. So Pink Horse getting some shots in there on the Lamprey's Revenge. They also take fire, which, you know, does decent damage there. Nothing too shabby. We also have the Severed Claw possibly finally going over to aid, but they're getting stuck in combat there with the infantry, which is not what they need to be doing. They need to be getting on top of those Lamprey's Revenge. There they go. They finally are going to potentially catch them out. Might as well keep the Pink Horse in that engagement. Nope. Okay, yeah. I was going to say keep the Pink Horse back and let them get caught up by the Lamprey's Revenge just so the Severed Claw can get on top of them. But Severed Claw caught them anyway, so it's fine. Now the Pink Horse can continue shooting and then get some crossfires into those Lamprey's Revenge. It might be a bad mistake here by Nardu letting those Lamprey's Revenge be caught out. I would continue sending those Lamprey's Revenge into the Pink Horse. Let the Severed Claw continue chasing. Maybe hit the Severed Claw with the Hornswoggle to slow them down. Because if you lose these Lamprey's Revenge here, it'd be pretty bad for the Vampire Coast. But they do have one other Rotting Promethean. So it wouldn't be the end of the day. As at the very least, the Rotting Promethean gunnery mobs, they don't have regeneration. So they wouldn't be taking more damage from flaming attacks like from the Pink Horse or the Pink Fires. But Pink Horse are almost out of ammo anyways. They only have one volley left. And I'm not sure how much magic the bird still has. So might not mean anything anyways, even if they did have regeneration. I'm not sure. The bird is going to jump down here, help out, finish off these deckhand mobs. Luther's just scrapping it about, trying to get these marauders out of here. A nice Tier 3 army ability coming down here from the side, doing some pretty substantial damage there on those lampreys, on those gunnery mobs and deckhand mobs. You have some handgunners come back in this scene. Unfortunately, they are blocked at the moment, but they need to turn around, shoot those Centaurs really quickly as the Centaurs about to get the engagement there. Oh no, can they? Nope, they're not gonna have enough time, and they get run down by those Centis. Really well played there by Zinch, keeping those Centis in the forest until the very last minute. Really well played. Able to shut down those handgunners, which gives Bird free range to do whatever they want now. They have nothing screening them out. Luther Harkon is fighting all alone now, essentially, as they have no caster, and the gunnery mobs are disintegrating. Things are looking horrible for Vampire Coast now, unfortunately. As much as I hate to say this, I think Luther Harkon will be get back to that jungle of his and shamefully broken by Z. I say once again, but I don't know how many losses Archon has faced, but I'm going to presume this isn't exactly the first. Value looked incredibly tight, 10,000 too, and gold damage value for Nardu, 1,800. And even if somehow Zinch, rather Coast, would have scrapped it back there with just what they had, Zinch had the cap point that entire time and would have won out in 10 points. Yeah, pretty nasty there for Vampire Coast there, unfortunately, with those Centaurs. Zinch, they have invested the Centis a little too early on against the wrong units. Took a lot of damage. But what they did after that was incredibly smart. Keeping them in the forest, keeping them away from the range component. So the very late game, to use them, not only shut down the Carronades, which again I thought wasn't really that impactful, but shutting down the Carronade and the handgunners. Now that right there is really impactful, because that means that even if the Carronade isn't doing a lot of damage, even if it's not landing shots, it does keep the Zinch player on its toes, forcing that player to constantly have to micro their bird out of range. So even if the Carronade, so even if I don't think it does a lot, it does a lot in that sense. It doesn't do a lot in terms of damage or in terms of accuracy, like being able to actually land its shots, but putting that pressure on the Zinch player is enough. And with the handgunner also being shut down, those together was pretty incredible, pretty detrimental there for Zinch to win it out there. Obviously, the point mattered a lot too, as you're held on the point for so long. Ghost didn't have anything to capture that point. It would have probably gone to Zinch anyways, even if they didn't shut down the handgunners and cannons. But nonetheless, a really solid match there. Really well played there by Zinch. Pretty good match. Run into the letting those crabs get caught up by the aspiring champions was a massive mistake. And I thought that the aspiring champions were gonna amount to nothing, considering how little they were doing early on. Sure, them being tied down by chaff means they take very little damage and are gonna be able to use in the late game at practically full HP. They'll be very tired by that point, exhausted, but they'll still have potential to aid out in any late game engagements with crabs. But you generally want those aspiring champions to be in the right engagements early on in the first place, not being tied down by crappy chaff. I thought they were going to amount to nothing, but they ended up amounting to a lot once they shut down those gunnery mobs. Very, very impactful for the Coast, because they really, really need those Lamper's Revenge to deal with the Ascentees, to deal with a lot of the other infantry, or even the bird specifically. The bird is, you're going to need that mass and the shotguns to point blank shoot that bird whenever that bird lands. Yeah, it's just very unfortunate that crabs got caught out like that. 1052 here for the big bird. Did pretty good work there with those blue fires and pinks. 1291 on the aspiring champions. Yeah, look at that. Just from taking down the Lamprey's Revenge mostly. Obviously, they probably also got some engagement with the other gunnery mob, that late game engagement. But yeah, they picked up a lot of value from that, from those two. Otherwise, not as much if had just been fighting undead that entire game, or rather, deckhand mobs. 1009 there on the pink horse. They did pretty good. They had some nice engagements there with rather nice targets there with shooting at the crabs, shooting at the handgunners, etc. Senties did decent. Didn't pay for themselves, but they were pretty substantial in that late game. 974 on the Furies, shutting down those hand cannons was pretty good from the Furies there. Those guys could have been pretty detrimental late game as well. Neuter Harkon 482. Didn't expect them to amount to much. Yeah, no casters. Pretty tough there. I really think bringing a caster would have helped out tremendously. Tide costs go down on pink horrors. Even if you went with the Lore of Deep, even if you went with the Lore of Deep, it would have been incredible. Help or vampires. But they wanted to try like this Neuter Harkon, no magic. 1658, 1061. Pretty good work there despite what happened to them. Man, yeah, this handgun I'm pretty sure turned around. That absolutely insane volley there on Changebringers thanks to the Hornswoggle. Those Changebringers got annihilated. Once I saw that, I was like, okay, things cannot pan out right for Tzeentch now, right? I mean, they got 2-3 volleys there on handgunners and didn't finish off the unit. No way Tzeentch comes back from this. Their senties are really beat up. You have Changebringers, which took a lot of damage and are disintegrating after 1 or 2 volleys from handgunners. Man, that was a scrappy game. That was just beautiful though, seeing those Changebringers just get wiped off the face of the map. Beautiful game there for both players. Well played. All right, we have our top 4. It'll be Buffo, Salty Potato, Bongo, and Ash. Actually, AP said they need a tiebreaker. Bongo and Ash. Either need to decide on a rock, paper, scissors or tiebreaker. Oh, they're gonna do rock, paper, scissors. Bongo and Ash are ready. Are you ready? Yeah, they're gonna do rock, paper, scissors. Yeah, surprising. They had a tiebreaker issue last game as well. I mean, last tournament as well last week. How many times are they gonna say? I'm not gonna say it again. Stop it. Yeah, they had the same issue last week as well. There was a lot of tiebreakers. Keep us trolling as usual. Everyone can play me. Whoever loses the fastest is out. We hate Tzeentch. Nard, if you want to practice that game or that matchup, let me know. You try it out. Definitely think you need a caster there, buddy. What's going on? What's going on, Nardu? I kind of liked it though. I liked the idea of Neuter Harkon not matching up with any caster. His army, not allowing it to happen. But also, what was it? The freaking Shade Wraith Gunners too. I think that was a That was a bad choice. You know what the problem was, right, Nardu? It wasn't the fact that you had no caster, though that didn't help. It wasn't the fact that you brought Shadow Gunners, that definitely didn't help. It was the fact that you didn't bring any rotting Leviathans. Yeah, fine. Why play the game? Yeah, exactly. We're just waiting for Bongo and Ash to do their rock, paper, scissors. Come on, RD. The Leviathans, that would have been perfect for that match. What would they have done against the Leviathans? Tell me. Can't believe you betrayed me. Did you even bring the ROR Necrofex in High Elf player? No, Nardu. It was a close game versus Friska. If I hadn't neglected one of my total spirit. Um, did you post the replay? I'm interested to see how you did it, how that match went. Norska versus Lizardman, right? Um, yeah, I see. Was it the Korean player, DW Minor Gallery? I'm interested in checking that out. I will be watching your I was gonna say I was gonna say uh I'll be watching your create with great interest as a Lizardman player, but it didn't pan out. I fumbled the ball. Classic dreaded story. Spilling his spaghetti all over the floor, not being able to say words properly, slurring his words like he's a drunkard. Rest of those replays there. Naruto, I'm gonna keep complaining until you bring me my big, meaty claws, my crabs. What is wrong with you? How dare you tell me to stop complaining? You don't even think the Emperor, Karl Franz, is the greatest emperor of all time, even though he very clearly is. Play your damnable dwarves. Go back into your cave. Go back into your mountains, you cretin. Nardu the afraid. You're gonna box every game. Where's the fun, Nardu? Where is the fun? That's not fun. Lying to me. It's not happening. You're trolling right now. Nardu's doing the not Nardu. Bongo is doing the thing again. Bongo plays in. For those who don't know who they are, they play in domination tournaments as well as land battle. And in domination, they do this silly little thing, right, where they sometimes will not say anything. They'll just disappear from the tournament. So I think that's what act they're doing right now. They just disappeared. So they're a man of few words, or a person of few words. Anarian posted a replay as well. Sweet. Seems like Bongo is not going to make it into the finals, unfortunately. And Ash wins the by default. So it will be, let's see, what's going on here. So it'll be computer, presumably, against Ash. Potato against Buffo. I don't know. I'll wait for JP to fix the brackets and all of that. My punishment, your punishment, is you having to play the dwarfs. A box dwarf. Like, I cannot think of a more boring play style than a box dwarf. Unless you're against like 4 stacks of AI in campaign. Now that is fun. That is very fun. That is such fat brain. Oh, that is so unfortunate. I've had so many games where like that. Oh man, I feel for you. I'm sorry. That happens. Brackets are good. Please proceed with the finals, is what JP said. So we will be with the finals finally. Computer up against Jamie Kim, which I presume is Buffo. There we go. Okay. Okay, we'll be specking Buffo and Computer's game. That boy up here, blocker. Join with code. That even works. I don't know why it's not letting me. Go. 1, 2. All right. Buffo against Computer. Look at that. Potato making it to the finals. And I'm pretty sure Nardu said that they are a new player. Very, very new. Love the duel. But I'm gonna your send. Oh, that's crazy! All of Naruto's replays that he sends me in the next tournament, for some reason, are all corrupted. I don't know why. They just don't want to work. Dang, I guess I can't cast him. And now you're just punishing yourself. Playing League of Legends, really? Come play Deathlock with me instead. An actual fun game. Oh yeah? Who do you main? Who are your 3 heroes? Come on, tell me. Right now. I want to know. You're not some dirty, filthy haze main. You don't happen to play 7, do you? Ugh. Bro, ugh. You can. Play Ivy. Play. Trying to guess what your bands could. If. I think maybe Bebop. Do you play Bebop? And I can see you playing Bebop. I can see you playing like Viscous. Dynamo. Who do you play in Ardu? Tell me right now. Are any of this correct? Those are my guesses. Your Bebop, Dynamo, and Krill. Div. Viscous. Even throw Paradox in there. I'll keep my guesses to. New Paradox is one of them. Dang it. Pocket. Okay, you have a pretty diverse roster there. Lash is hard. I don't. But every time I play against a Lash player, I can't help but get annoyed. Very, very annoyed because usually it's like the most insane Lash player I've ever seen in my life. And then I play Lash and I just don't know what the hell I'm doing majority of the time. No, yeah, the character's too hard for me. Lash players are just like playing an entirely different game. They're playing 3D chess. I'm playing Pac-Man. I also haven't played against many Yamatos, but the one that I did play against was so insane that I honestly wanted to stop playing halfway through the game. Paradox players that much, and pocket players I usually see don't be special. They're annoying, but they're not anything. I haven't seen a good Paradox yet, though. I've tried Paradox a few times. I like them. I definitely need to keep playing them more and try to get better at them. Yeah, I could see that. I could say that a really nice fed Yamato, I could see is insane. Same with God, another one that's practically unkillable. You're talking about unkillable, freaking Abrams, man. That guy is so unkillable when he's fed. Late game, like you're better off just shooting at a wall. Bro, if we queue up, insane. Yeah, show me the power and I'll copy your build. Because I want to play Paradox. Paradox is pretty good. Pretty cool. But the characters I play, pretty much the only thing I'm good at right now is Viscous. Viscous just speaks to me. I love that character. I like Kelvin. Kelvin is alright. I don't have much playtime with him. I've played Paradox, like I said. I've played a bit of Dynamo. That's about it. The other characters I've played I've not been good at, so I haven't tried them much. Yeah, the Blob. Viscous. I love Viscous. Man, more slime characters in games, please. I love them. But let's move on to the game here. No more. Talking about good games here. Now, Sorcerer Prophet leading the Chaos Dwarves on foot with just Hellhammer. Okay, let's see how it goes. We also have Goblin Laborers plus a single unit of Blunderbuss, along with the Granite Guard as well, the ROR variant, which does have that dig in mechanic. So for 25 seconds, if it's standing still, you'll get that 40% range, missile resistance, and expert charge defense, which is pretty nuts. But it's hard to keep from still for a majority of that time when you're up against a faction that has a lot of infantry and mobile units. You have Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits as well. Pretty dreadful unit, I think. But if they get the right engagement, I suppose they can do okay. But they really have to get on some squishy unit, like some, I suppose. Pink's, even then, Pink's decent in melee, so I don't know. I think Sneaky Gets are like rangers with throwing daggers and poison. Anyways, we have double fire glaives as well. You're gonna need these guys when you're up against siege. They have that range you need, plus that 8. Not any birds or soul grinders once they get up a little too, and shoot entities plus that bonus large in melee. It isn't incredible. It's 5, but if they can help out a lot, because they have decent stats plus that armor as well of 100. Already right off the bat, that Zinch can get a nice little shot there, and does some pretty decent damage against the Granite Guard. Not what it once was. It used to be pretty insane, but not anymore against infantry. Got to focus on large targets, which unfortunately the Chaos Dwarf player did not bring, so they're gonna have to focus down on range component, which is not what the Soul Grinder is built for anymore, or accidentally built. Anyways, Chaos Sorcerer Lord on a disc with Infernal Gateway, Blue Fire, and Sword of Change. We also have Severed Claw once again. We do have the Marauders too, and a whole bunch of Marauders, more Chaos Warriors, taking some blasting charges from those Blazing Beards, which I forgot to mention. And oh my god! Those Marauders got destroyed. Chaos Furies, a whole bunch of Chaos Fury Screamers and Descentees in that back flank, getting nice around there on the Chaos Dwarves. Oh no, the Severed Claw. Oh boy, that is so unfortunate. They are absolutely getting destroyed. Even taking the knives from the Sneaky Gets, those aspiring champions sent in to chop up mere goblins have been obliterated by volleys from those Granite Guard and the Blunderbusses. Granite Guard do take an Infernal Gateway and are taking quite a bit of damage from it. That's a really nice Infernal Gateway cast, as the Disc Lord does jump down on top of them to stop them from shooting and to slow them down as they try to escape. Granite Guard are practically one shot from that one. Fire taking quite a bit of damage, but they still have 3 models, though they take a nice blasting charge volley there from the Blazing Beards, the last volley. As they finish those guys off, they still have 10 models. If they can come back, regen their shields, they might have a chance, but nope. The Blunderbusses are going to say no to that. Hellhammer coming in there. Let's see. Will we get a nasty little Hellhammer there? Ooh! Yes! Those Marauders get brutalized. And it is just spears, so it's not a big deal. If that was on top of the Chaos Warriors, I would say differently. But it's still pretty cool there. Very Chad of the Chaos Dwarf player just to bring the Hellhammer. Blunderbuss getting a nice volley there on the Dreamers, who are attempting to help out, aid with those Blunderbusses and Fire Glaives. But yeah, these guys are going to be shot down real quick. On summoned in, helping deal with the Sneaky Gets. A big old blob fight is what we seem to be having this match. Chaos Fury getting up with the Fire Glaives, stopping them from shooting. They won't win the engagement, obviously, but they will stop them from shooting, and that's what matters. The Screamers surrounded, unfortunately, by the Fire Glaives and the Chaos Dwarves. I definitely think this is looking pretty bad there for the Siege player, but they can punish these blobbings with these nice Infernal Gateways. That's what they are doing. Those Dwarf Warriors plus Infernal Guard are taking tremendous amounts of damage from that gateway there. Plus, the unit is now capped by the Chaos Dwarves. So, what do we have left for the Zinchi side? Well, we have the Soul Grinder still left up and shooting, not doing a whole lot with those shots. Another Hellhammer coming down just to seal in the deal on those spearmen, shutting those guys down, even doing a bit of friendly fire to those Chaos Dwarves. It's quite unfortunate. But aside from that, what does Siege have? We have a single unit of Chaos Warriors, which are going to be routing here soon, and a whole lot of Chaos Dwarves. I don't expect much left in the Siege inside, especially with the Sorcerer Lord being shot to pieces by the Fire Glebs and Blunderbusses being scared off. It'll be going to the Chaos Dwarf. That was a nasty little build there from the Chaos Dwarves up against Siege. That was pretty beautiful. I loved to see that. Fire Glebs did incredible. 1624 and 1107. Blunderbusses also did fantastic this one and getting that brutal volley there on the Firing Champions. My god, those guys got ravaged. 446 together. Even the Hellhammers, as cool as they were, did not get much value considering it was up against Marauders. 1580 with those dreaded gateways. But aside from that, not much else. And they didn't get much done. Definitely, I don't think I'd bring the Soul Grinder despite it having good utilization against center renderers or against a Sorcerer Prophet on a Bull. But against the Zinchian side, I wouldn't bring my Sorcerer Prophet on a Bull anyway, so I probably wouldn't go with the Soul Grinder. I also wouldn't bring Bull Center Renderers, which obviously the Chaos Dwarf player did not bring, so I don't think the Soul Grinder fits here. I would take it out. Probably go with a lot more infantry, because you definitely desperately need the infantry. I think, yeah, I think more, just mostly more infantry. A pink wouldn't hurt, but yeah, that was a solid match there. That dude gets on my nerve. Man, I love Viscous. Viscous is such a menace, constantly just rolling around in a ball, annoying everybody. That's my favorite part about Viscous, is being that annoyance. Stunning people in their ult form and just blobbing, throwing slime glue at people. The one thing about Viscous is definitely need to keep playing them more, because majority of the time I don't know when to if I should just constantly be using the cube on myself or other people, because the majority of the time people don't like being cubed. They get upset when they get cubed. Like, limits their movement and stuff like that. Sure, it'll save them and heal them up a little bit, but I guess it's just timing. Gotta figure out the timing. Very quick match there from Computer and Amy Kim. Can link rather with the go in their match at the moment. Wait for them to finish. folks. Just give us one moment, folks, as we wait for the last game. Get up and get drinks, hydrate yourself, and whatnot. It's very important. Hydrate yourself. Just waiting for, there we go. Alright, guys, we are into the grand finals of today's new player tournament. Got Buffo on the Chaos Dwarves, as we just saw, up against Ash on the Empire. Shoots worshippers, Chaos Dwarves, trample the Empire, topple it, and bring it to ruins. Obviously, got to put this in favor of the Empire with how they are nowadays, and how Chaos Dwarves aren't a top tier faction in the first place, not even close. But if anybody can do it, Buffo can. From what I saw last game, I know they can do it. But the question is, will Karl Franz answer the call? Seems that Boris Todbringer is answering the call for the Empire today. And considering I started off with him first, that's where we'll begin. With Boris, he's on his I forgot what these things are called for some reason. Griffin? Those? I can't remember. Yes. You just have the middle and Rune Fang for that passive heal, a White Cloak of Auric as well for that minus 8 melee attack and speed debuff as well. Handgunners, the one of their range components, along with the Luminarch, which is really annoyingly good at the moment, people, apparently. Light Wizard with Net and Burning Gaze. And Power Stone, net to tie anything down, net them down, so you pop them with a Luminarch and catch them out with Boris. Pretty good, nasty combo there. But what is very beautiful about this build is 4 freaking great swords. Empire's finest right here. Come down to chop down the infantry of the Chaos Dwarves. Cut through those laborers, not the S word, the laborers. Chop down through those laborers and any Chaos Dwarves that come into sight. We also have Halberdiers, 2 of them, and the Hammer of the Witches, the Great Cannon or Warriors that have magic damage plus AP, of course, from maybe cannons. So, gonna be shooting at any Bull Centaur renderer from the Chaos Dwarf side. We also have a Sorcerer Prophet of Metal with Searing Doom and Plague of Rust for any Cav units. So no Cav for the I just realized for the Empire. Nice. And that is it. For the rest of the army, Hobgoblin Sneaky Glyphs, which are doing some pretty good damage into those light wizards with those knives. Wow, oh my god. I did not expect them to do so much damage to those. Also have some more sneaky gets, laborers, a whole bunch of laborers. Also have an iron demon and a whole bunch of wolf raiders with spears. And then triple renderers with great weapons. Very heavy investment on those guys. Those sneaky gets do get on top of the wolf riders do get on top of the halberdiers, or the handgunners, excuse me. The halberdiers come over to aid. Wolf raiders are going to get out of there as they don't want to be tied down by halberds, but they end up routing anyway, so it matters not. Renderers being shot by the cannon. They also get hit by a net, pretty nasty net there, and are going to be shot to pieces probably by the handgunners plus the cannons. We'll see. The handgunners have not been given an order to shoot at the renderers. This could be pretty big mistake there. Speaking of a mistake, the source of profit might be caught out here and sniped by Boris if these renderers don't turn around and get us around on him, and they do. They turn around. Will they save him in time? The Boris is going to dip out of there before they can do anything, however, which is unfortunate, because if one of those wolf raiders have gotten us around on him, that would have given the renderers time to catch up. The wolf raiders do get engaged with the greatswords, which is not what they want to be doing. They need to go around and get on top of the cannon. Cannon is doing some solid work at the moment into that iron demon, especially with the help of the handgunners and halberdiers. I didn't even notice the engineer was here. Engineer is here, and they do have Mercurial Shot and restock. Mercurial Shot probably got sent into that iron demon there. Iron demon, which is being sent after the Monarch at the moment. Overcast and net of Avatar catching out these laborers plus the iron demon. The iron demon's gonna be caught out here, and it's gonna be very bad if that iron demon falls, which is very much possible. Renders get sent in after the Hammer of the Witches, but I don't think it's a great call there, as the halberds are very close by. They should have been sent in after the Luminarch instead, which I think would have been a much better call. Catching that thing out would have been really, really nice, as their Iron Demon is about to fall, and the Renderers don't want to be fighting halberds at all. But they're not taking that much damage, actually. A lot of the halberds infantry models, I guess, are being moved elsewhere instead of being sent after the Renderers, which is a mistake by the Empire side, because that means the Hammer of the Witches gets shut down. Oh no! But it's to be expected, I suppose. Somehow the Iron Demon is still up 14 HP as it rolls dirty through these great swords. Look at that. And it finally does shut down, blow up, and take some great swords with it, possibly. I think he gets coming over. The return, Goblin Laborers. Empire is starting to falter here, as a lot of their units are being surrounded. Their backline is compromised. Great swords hit by a nasty Searing Doom there, but they continue to fight for the Empire. Will chop apart these sneaky gets as if they're nothing, blend through them like they're butter. Engineer does get caught out here by the Enders, and the Engineer is on a horse, so they are considered a large target, which helps out a lot. But handgunners are free to shoot at the Renderers, who are netted as well. This could be a really nice catch there by the Empire side, unless the handgunners rout, and they do, unfortunately. They do end up routing. Now, the Bulls Hunter Renderers are free and continue to push. So the 3 Bulls Hunter Renderers was honestly a pretty good choice knowing against this build. Who knew? Great swords get shut down, finally, possibly. Oh, down to -3 leadership. Will they rout? They should theoretically, but they are Empire's finest, so they're holding their own. Pusher Prophet in here, helping out with these infantry engagements. Great swords is just being thrown bodies at, being surrounded by Orc laborers and Hobgoblin sneaky gets and more laborers, making their task very, very heavy to burden on their shoulders. The Light Wizard does get caught out. Bull Centaur Renders and the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders finishing off the backlines and making sure to send off the remaining units. And this will be going to the Chaos Dwarf, ladies and gentlemen. Ashut takes the win. Empire is starting to crumble as Boris has felled the Empire. I didn't even notice Boris get shut down, but he did, and he felled Sigmar. He felled the rest of the Empire. Today's tournament will be going to Buffo. Congratulations to Buffo. Chaos Dwarfs take another win in the new players tournament. Well played. Great swords did all right. I loved the build there. Not so much the investment with a 3 with the engineer and yeah, nets from the light wizard plus the luminarch plus the carronades. I think it's just way too much there investment, but the luminarch did fantastic. 1702. That's probably what sniped out. Actually, I'm not sure what they shot at. Actually, yeah, I guess the Iron Demon. Yeah, definitely probably what sniped out the Iron. 1700 value there. Guess that. Handgunners did okay. Halberds not so much. I really think if the Halberds had turned around and aided the Hammer of the Witches, that could have helped out a lot. But at that point, the front line of the Chaos Dwarves was pretty much all around the Empire's infantry. I don't think there was much they could have done. 2800 there on the renderers. My god. Probably just shutting down the Hammer of the Witches and the Luminarch, honestly. Or probably Boris, I'm not sure. But they did fantastic. They were crucial there. I thought things were going to look pretty dirty there with that initial net on them, but unfortunately the Empire did not capitalize on it. And the 4 Wolf Raiders were pretty annoying as well. But well played to everybody today and in the tournament. Hope you guys all had fun. I'm going to go over some replays real quick. If you want to stick around, if any replays get, if your replays get cast, feel free. But if not, that's perfectly fine. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend. And thanks. Yeah, but I'm gonna go over the rest of these. So this is done. Congrats to Buffo for today's win. Excellent job by them. Hey Larry, thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna go over this Norskin and Lizardman replay. Gil said it was a pretty tough match that they could have won, but unfortunately lost. See what happened there. Pause this real quick. All right. So for the Norskin side, you do have Wolfric the Wonder, who doesn't have his name apparently. As this happened before, I don't know why it keeps happening, but Sea Fang and Fight or Die will be his abilities. He is on horseback as well. Got Horserick today. Marauders will be the front line. We have some javelins as well. A bunch of berserkers, more spearmen. Back line. Single unit of Famir. Unless there's more. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Yeah, just one Famir. We also have double Skin Wolf and double Norskin Ice Wolf, presumably, on both flanks. So heavy on the javelins today. We also got a Sorcerer of Metal with just Searing Doom and Plague of Rust. Does of course have metal shifting as well for that weapon strength increase. For the Lizardman side, I have a Slan of Fire, which is on parentheses. Does have Shield of the Old Ones, Blood Statuette, Banishment, and Burning Head. Pretty good choices there. Pretty good kit. Taurus Warriors and Spears as well. We have Cold One Spear Riders on both flanks, with some more Saurus in Forest. Umbral Tide will be sneakily hanging out in the back line, waiting for any Skin Wolves to target. Ken Wolves? No, Chameleon Skinks. 3 of them vanguarded up front, getting some missile fire off at the very beginning. To see how things go. So, Chameleon Skinks just skirmishing at the moment, getting some shots into the shielded Marauders. We're just going to Ice Wolves and Skin Wolves going around, possibly trying to collapse on the Chameleon Skinks, or at least just screen them out a little bit so they're not able to get you free damage. And North Ice Wolves might catch out these chameleon skinks. We'll see. We do have the Spear Riders or Cold One Riders nearby to catch them out, and they do. But the Ice Wolves do pull out. Well played by the Norscan player, making sure to keep their Ice Wolves up and not in an engagement they shouldn't be in. These Cold One Riders unfortunately do continue pushing and get into the Berserkers plus the Famirs. This is not great there for the Lizardman side. We have a nice Sea Fang going, ripping through these spears and even hitting the shields a bit. A nice burning head going to be ripping through those Marauders, however, in return. But as you can see, yeah, these Cold One Riders do get caught out there from warriors with great weapons. I didn't even know to say the great weapons, but yeah, they're going to catch out that Cold One Rider, which is going to be a very nice catch there from the Lizardman side as they push a little too far ahead. The Spear Riders need to be ready to help out with this push after these Cold One Riders get sent off. Show that the old ones popped and helps out with that engagement there as they're up against Berserkers. These Spearmen continue pushing in, and now the left hand side for the Lizardman's side is not looking great. The Chivalrous Warriors can possibly screen out these Ice Wolves who are trying to push past getting up the Chameleon Kings, and they do end up catching them out as the Norscan player doesn't notice. Chameleon Kings need to probably start shooting at those Norscan Ice Wolves, and they are at the moment. But these Umbral Tide as well, as they really need to shut down that mobility from the Norscan side. The Spear Riders unfortunately are occupied, so that means the Umbral Tide are possibly going to be shut down. I'd rather send the Chameleon Skinks in and let the Umbral Tide free so they can go continue shooting in, as they're a bit more important, and the Chameleon Skinks can handle themselves a bit better against the Ice Wolves. But the Ice Wolves do end up getting shutting down thanks to the help of the Fire Slan. A Searing Doom going down on the Spear Riders is going to be shutting them down completely. Look at that damage there. That's some beautiful damage from that Searing Doom. Another burning head ripping through here on those Spearmen. Nice burning head so far. The Mirror Warriors are just doing such good work at the moment, and they have nothing really to contend with them, as the Spear Riders have been shut down and the other Cold One Riders as well. Umbral Tide are going to be shut down as well, unfortunately. Oh, I see what they were talking about here. Yeah, they forgot about one of the Spear Riders in the forest here, and they could have been helping out a lot with the back line to shut down the Norscan Ice Wolves and the Famir with great weapons, especially with the Skin Wolves here. If they got a nasty little rear charge here on the Skin Wolves, that'd help out a lot. The Statuette of Spite is doing some work, but not enough. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate for the Lizardman players. They forgot about them. So unfortunate. I was thinking to myself, like, what are they talking about? Things are going okay. I don't see any missing units. But then I notice now, yeah, they do have one in that forest on the left-hand flank. And it is unfortunately going to be costing the Lizardman player the game, and it'll be going to Wolfric. Despite the mistake, well played, Gil. It was a solid scrap. But the swords are going to be tied down, or surrounded and finished off. And it'll be going to Norska. Well played by Monkeyland. Really nice catch out there on the Cold One Riders. That initial pullback from those Norscan Ice Wolves was really substantial. Just making sure to pull something like that, and not only pull the Ice Wolves, not only pulling the Ice Wolves out, but also sending in an infantry unit to screen out those Cold One Riders so they couldn't keep chasing. And then the Familiar Warriors with great weapons as well to shut those guys down completely was beautiful work there. May have been done accidentally, because I don't think the Berserkers had a target really, but it matters none, as pulling back those Ice Wolves was just like really good control of your units. Having that good control of your units, making sure they don't choose bad engagements, letting one of your important mobility units go to waste. It shows really good restraint as a player. 422, and let's see here, 720, 1150 on the javelins. I'm not surprised that they provided so much utility there. 3 of them, they're really good, and put a lot of work in if you're able to keep them up and shooting. 556 and 1063 on these Ice Wolves. They did substantial work. 773, and 1181. Those great weapons were incredible. I was thinking like maybe one Famir isn't really enough, but no, it definitely did provide exactly what the Norscan player needed. 2011 on the Fire Mage, as they got some pretty good burning heads, and Blood Statuette, of course, doing good work as usual. Umbral Tide unfortunately got shut down and weren't able to put in much work. But yeah, fortunately for getting those Codon Riders, Fear Riders was a big mistake. Lost the Lisbon player of the game, but good scrapped back nonetheless. Here we have Computer up against Corvus Glaive on the green skin. All right. So, for the Zinchi side, we have another bird. This time it's going to be Karil's Fate Weaver. It does have Harmonic Convergence, Blue Fire, Pearl of Destiny, and Gaze of Fate. That net and minus 40 main buff. For the rest of the army, it's going to be Marauders, Spears, regular guilds, Every Claw once again. Seems the Zinchi player really likes bringing Every Claw, which to be fair, they're very good. It's just some matchups gotta be careful with, like those Chaos Storms. Beautiful Vortex Beast is brought in. Fantastic model. I love. So freaking cool. It does have bonus versus infantry, solid stats all around. 70 armor, 78 leadership. Magic attacks, plus has the Aura of Mutation, which of course is Vortex Engine. It also has a Gift of Mutation, which grants plus 8 melee attack for any nearby units, which helps a lot with the Ancient Infantry. Going against other armored infantry. Tides of Transmutation as well, a little passive AoE explosion, I believe. Once engaging melee, it does provide that disoriented debuff, which is what matters the most. Another minus 4 melee defense, minus 6 melee attack, and speed decrease. So we'll see how it does. Changebringers and there's on flanks. We have Screamers and Furies up in the air to help protect those Changebringers. And just get on top of the range components of the green skins. We also have more Chaos Fury as well. Greenskin side, we do have Grimgore Ironhide, the man himself, the one true Git. Bow Seeker, get back here, stand your ground, and you're next. Plus Gitsnick and Bloodforged Armor, basically his entire kit. He's not super expensive anyway, so might as well, why not? Orc Boys will be leading the front line. We have Orc Boar Boys on both flanks, plus Squigs, and some Orc Arrow Boys as well in the black line for the range components. Black Orcs, they chop through any Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch and Chosen of Tzeentch as well. Single, or is it triple units of Savage Orcs, one being the Biggin variant, help with that bonus versus large against any Centigores, and the Savage Orcs just Marauders. Blue Fire going in on those Orc Boar Boys. Very wide army for the Tzeentch side. No magic cast, I just realized. We do have some skirmishing units from the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. Or rather from the Goblin Wolf Raiders. Oh, I'm getting mixed up with Chaos Dwarf once again. Wolf Rider. Alright. So infantry is going to be start gauge here. The Mutilate Vortex Beast will help out with a lot with this infantry, but they need to make sure to keep it out of fire from the Orc Arrow Boys, as they will do a lot of damage very quickly if the ZG player is not careful. Pink fires, do we have any of those? Nope, just blue fires, so it's hard to get rid of these Arrow Boys without the mobility, but we do have some Chaos Furies here. The Vortex Beast is going to pill out a little bit as it's now under fire from the Arrow Boys. Blob is going a little bit better for the Zinj side, as they do have the Severed Claw there, but Savage Orcs will tear through those Marauders very quickly. Black Orcs get hit with the Gaze of Fate, so they're not able to get in and crump on the Severed Claw. Beautiful Vortex Beast is trying to help out with the back line, getting on top of these Savage Orc Biggins who do have burners versus large, so they would do some damage in return to the Muted Vortex Beast. Changebringers get a nasty volley there on the Black Orcs. That's exactly what they want to be shooting at. They do have really nice AP values on their missiles. Another volley coming in there, doing not as great this time. Just kind of like missed a lot of the models there. That was weird. You're targeting there. Chaos Furies do jump down on the Orc Arrow Boys. Do get on top of the other one as well and pill out. These Black Orcs are standing idly by to help protect the Orc Arrow Boys. Because they are very, very important to this game. Another nasty volley there coming in there and immediately shutting down the Wolf Riders. Very nice. These Changebringers are going to be very, very deadly if there's something they're not shot at, not shut down quickly. These Black Orcs are just taking nasty volleys. They really need to get in combat because they're just taking idle damage. Very bad. Savage Orc Big Guns finally get shut down. Beautiful Vortex Beast is coming over to try to finish off these Savage Orcs and Black Orcs. Things are not looking great. Is that another Gaze of Fate on those Black Orcs? Something went down. I'm not entirely sure what it was. Nonetheless, they are hit by that Mortis engine from the Beautiful Vortex Beast. Another Changebringer volley there on now the other Black Orcs who are sitting idly by once again. They need to be brought into combat. Otherwise, they're just going to sit there taking fire damage. These Orc Air Boys need to stop shooting at Karos and instead shoot at the Changebringers, which are much more important at the moment. A much bigger target and much weaker to attacks as Karos, with being a Lord of Change, they have really good animations to stop or to avoid missile fire. Then these two shoot at the Changebringers, but I guess it matters not anymore as the Changebringers now have 0 ammunition. So at that point, then I would start shooting at the Mutal Vortex Beast. That's a much bigger target at the moment, much easier to shoot at Karos. But Changebringers is now being sent in. That means the Arrow Boys are not going to be able to shoot anymore because they have nothing to protect that back line. Do you have any Orc Boys left? Or their Orc Boar Boys? The one's being sent off. There's some Squigs back there, but yeah, nothing there in immediate range to help protect them, unfortunately, which means that they're going to be shot in combat. I'd rather, honestly, I keep one Orc Arrow Boy just in combat with the Changebringer and the other one shooting. I think that's a better bet instead of having them constantly both running away. At least one is shooting and picking up some value, but the Screamers are coming over, however, and yeah, the Zinjin player is gonna definitely win this. Grimgore is fighting as best to his ability, chopping through Chaos Furies and Chaos Warriors, Aspiring Champions, etc., but it's not gonna be enough for him. He's not gonna be enough to chop through the rest of the Zinjin, especially through a Mutal Vortex Beast, and is going to be going to the side. What went wrong here? You have a caster. I'd always pretty much bring a caster. I understand you want to maybe play it fun, not rely on a caster. That's perfectly fine. On the off chance that you just did it accidentally, yeah, definitely need a caster here, as it can help out a lot with clearing out some of the chaff or helping keep some of your guys in the fight. But more Squigs help out a lot with protecting your back line, but also just breaking through that infantry of the Marauders and Chaos Warriors. Probably don't even bring the Black Orcs. It's not worth it because they're just gonna get picked apart like they did. Savage Orcs are okay. Our boys are perfectly. You need that skirmish. That's what the of the side. Else 1079 on the Aspiring Champions, 1641 on the Changebringers. I mean, they got to use all their ammunition, which is pretty nuts. and they were instrumental in shutting down those orc arrow boys as well. 2156 on the mutilated vortex piece. They really did carry the game there. Good work. Why is everything? Crap. All right, we're gonna watch Nardu's tough game. High elves. Again, Nardu did not bring what I asked him to freaking bring, the Gallows Giant or the Rotting Leviathans in any of his games. The heck, Nardu. But with how things apparently he wins anyways. Vampire Coast. What do we got here? We got Noctilus once again with Drowned Dead, Dial, Wraithstorm, and for the rest of the army, a bunch of deckhand mob. Prize there, pole arms, etc., and more handgunners. Nardu loves to use 5 of them in total. One black spot. We also have a single border and double Rotting Prometheus gunnery mob. Samples Revenge, of course. Animated Hulks to help deal with any armored infantry, high elves, or just break through, break any cav charges that come in. But I guess that's what the crabs are for. Animated Hulks you don't generally want to charge, because they only 30 armor and 24 melee defense. So yeah, you just want to have them aid in cav fights, not take the charges. But the zombies taking the charges or the crabs. Also use breakthrough front line. But otherwise, for the high elf side, we do have Team Army with the Sunfang, which is decent against undead. Very slow on the charge. I hate how slow, but decent nonetheless. Fire damage, magic, low, no AP, but high. Silver and Guard and Lothern Sea Guard, and Archers with light armor, Talons Torquid Leda, or light armor, and Fireborn, and Silver Helms. Silver Helms don't really perform well for their cost, so not really worth bringing. I definitely would bring Lyrian Reavers instead, as you definitely want to go wide against Coast anyway. Computer. Fun, guys. Thanks for hanging out, computer. Thanks for playing in the tournament. Well played. I will catch you next one if you're there. If not, have a good weekend nonetheless. Thank you once again for hanging out. See you next time. Mage, a Firecaster with Burning Head and Fireball, which honestly you could just go with Burning Head here, but Fireball is also fun. Or with Staff and Book of Hope. Eagle Cult Bloat Thrower as well to shoot at any crabs and whatnot. I like it. It's perfectly fine. Can shoot at carronades, can shoot at necrophexes, it can shoot at mortars, etc. Animated Hulks, crabs. That has plenty of utility. Definitely don't want it like this close against range components though, as if they shoot at the bolt thrower or any range components, it's also going to hit the bolt thrower. I'd bring the archers back. These guys back. Like here. And out of the range of the mortar or the carronades, and bring that bolt thrower up to shoot at the carronades or the mortar or the crabs. Up to you. Probably would prioritize the carronade first. Yeah, you want to keep these archers back so the mortars don't shoot it. The single mortar. This is a mortar, right? Yeah, it's a mortar. It's not a carronade. I thought it was a carronade for some reason. Yeah. I'm going to shoot at the mortar with the bolt thrower to keep the archers out of range, as they're about to take a mortar volley here. Will actually land though. Mortars are notoriously inaccurate, and they miss and hit the bolt thrower instead. But they do a little damage to the archers as well, so not too shabby. Is Tyrion on foot? No, he's on horseback. Got a Talon's Torculator shooting in, getting some nice damage there on the black spot, absolutely tearing them apart, practically taking off a quarter of their HP with that initial volley. Very nice. Sending down those black spots is a pretty good idea, as they are very, very good. But once the infantry starts to engage, that's when things are going to start starting to sour, as High Elves don't have much in the way of infantry. They have 3 Silver and Guard, which is not the right choice here, I think. Oh no, is that Burning Head going to do some friendly fire as he goes through those deckhand mobs? Oh, it might actually curve a little bit here. Yeah, it does hit those deckhand mobs, but then it curves into the Silver and Guard. That's unfortunate. It does do a bit of damage to the Silver and Guard. Hopefully it doesn't hit the Lothar Sea Guard. It does tag the Lothar Sea Guard a tiny bit. No, it doesn't. Okay. So, yeah. Once the infantry starts to engage here from the Vampire Coast, you could see that things are starting to not look great, as they don't have much in the way of infantry to protect the rest of their range units. You have a Stern Fang coming in here on the deckhand mobs, going to be ripping through them. Beautiful work there. As you can see, that's why I think that's good against the undead. But the issue is that it just takes forever to wind up and to charge up as well. Talon's Torculator getting hit by a Wraith Storm, doing some solid work there, taking off about a quarter of their HP, down to half, or under half. You have the Silver Helm moving over to help out with the infantry engagement. But yeah, this is where like multiple Lane Reavers would help out a lot. They could shut, but nonetheless, Silver Helms can shut down these deckhand mobs, which I think is the best choice. And there we go. The High Elf player does do that. These archers, will pull back a little bit more. Talon's Torculator are taking a lot of damage from these mortars. The Call Bloat Thrower is shooting at the mortar, I believe, but it's not fast enough. It's just that bolt throwers just take forever to put out any damage. Nice Burning Head ripping through those deckhand mobs, but could have been a little bit better. I think would have been preferred it this way, as the way it did it. We hit a partial bit of a unit. Went this way, it would have curved through the entirety of it. But Lamprey's Revenge do get a surround here on Tyrion. With those shotguns, point blank, they're going to do a lot of damage very quickly. Tyrion does have fire damage, which helps out with the Lamprey's Revenge regeneration, however. And he does have pretty good AP values, but he's going to be taking a lot of damage from the shotguns. Plus, if the gunnery mobs, the hand cannons can actually shoot Tyrion, they could do some damage, but the issue is I think the gunnery mobs are blocking them, or the Lamprey's Revenge are blocking those shots. In return, the Talon's Torculator are shooting the handgunners, which do need to be pulled back in that case, as they are within range of the archers. Either that, or make sure to send the animated Hulks in and get on top of those archers, shut them down. Mortar does finally get shut down. Do they have any models left? They do have 2 models left to continue shooting, which is good. That's perfectly fine. Another Wraith Storm coming down on the Silver Guard, absolutely brutalizing them as they get knocked over and then shot by the pistol mobs as well. Silver Guard are getting absolutely destroyed. A Burning Head ripping through those deckhand mobs. Very nice Burning Heads from the Mage. But the Riding Prometheans making their way into the archers, shutting those guys down as well. Things are not looking good here for the High Elves. Definitely see the Vampire Coast winning out here. We'll see though. Another Sun Fang ripping through those handgunners. Very nicely played by Tyrion, High Elf player. So, despite how little infantry the High Elves had, Silver Guard did hold on for a long time, as they are very elite spearman unit. Very good at holding, and yeah, it's very, very good at holding. Nice Silver Helm charge there on the handgunner, shutting those guys down completely. They have pretty pitiful melee stats, so they can die. They'll die very, very fast if they get if they take a nasty charge like that. Only 6 melee defense and much damage in return. Fireborn, I haven't noticed what they've been doing, unfortunately, but they are down to 7 models, trying to surround Count Noctilus, but not going to do a whole lot. Burning Head ripping through those deckhand mobs, but not really worth it, as they are just a summon. But they do hit the Lamprey's Revenge and bit of the deckhand mobs, putting them into crumbling status. And there they go. Even hitting the handguns as well. Nice. That's pretty nice. That was a pretty decent burning head for what it was. And Tyrion trying to engage with Count Noctilus and even pushes through a lot of those deckhand mobs. Very nice. But finally getting surrounded by the gunnery mobs. And I think that's probably going to be spelling the end there for the High Elves. As Tyrion gets beat down, he does get his health back. Another burning head. Going through the crabs. But yeah, Tyrion routes. Oof. Count Noctilus could die here. 752 HP. But the issue is that rather Tyrion, he's coming back. Lily shut down Noctilus. We have the crabs here to help out. Noctilus down to 79 HP here. Point was originally capped by High Elves, but now caught by the Vampire Coast. Noctilus does get shut down. Tyrion does have a little bit more room to heal as Heart of Avalorn is recharged. He does get his heal up to 2000 HP again, but he routes. You have double crabs still left. Probably no wins left for the High Elves, however. More animated hooks still up and about, which can come back. And Nardi was right. This is a very, very close game. If it wasn't for the fact that the High Elves doesn't really have any much cav left, I think they could have very much had a chance at it. But with the two crabs being as healthy as they are, especially the Lamprey's Revenge, Teclis, how do I keep saying Teclis? Tyrion does not have a chance. He's come here, get a nice Sunfang there. Burning Head as well. I didn't think they had enough mana for Burning Head, but they did. Wow, this is a big scrap. Oh my god. Yeah, Tyrion does end up breaking from army losses, and that goes to the Vampire Coast. Beautiful work there. I can't believe they had another Burning Head in pocket there. That could have ended up causing those Lamprey's Revenge to disintegrate. Wow, Nardu was correct. That was a very, very close game there. Well played to both players. That was a very solid match. Value-wise, nothing particularly did incredibly well aside from the Lamprey's Revenge. Oh my god, 33-23 on those Riding Promethean. My god, they did fantastic. Even more than the Lamprey's Revenge 2020. They're probably the ones that got on top of the Fireborn, I'm sure. 724 here, 277. Noctilus Tyrion did great. 2502. Solid Sunfangs. Decent Burning Heads, 1000 value. Even. That's definitely a much wider army is needed for the High Elves. Guard, it's just too expensive to get all three of these, and then plus a bunch of lightly armed talent archers. Just go with the regular archer. Or rather, the Silver Helms. Not really worth it, but they did their job. I said 714 Fireborn. Bulk. Wider army. Neuter takes forever to do the damage in first. And while it's doing that damage, you need to pull stuff back. Like your fire from the crap. Very, very hot today. Texas is absolutely the worst, by the way. Sucks. Bad. Terrible state. Messages. Alright. Probably do 1 or 2. Simply because 1, it's hot, and 2, I gotta eat. I'm actually starving. Ooh, this looks like a very tasty matchup here. Check it out. Tasty morsel for myself. Okay. For the Chaos Dwarf side, we do have Drazov the Ashen, Flames of Asgore, Hellhammer, Curse of Hashut, Killing Flyer, Dark Renown, Oshard Amulet. Gonna be on foot, pretty cool. I like his little battle axe and flaming scepter. Awesome. I like Drazov a lot. He's just expensive. It doesn't do that great of a job, but I like him when he's like paired up with the Blazing Beards or the Immortals, because they have that Dark Renown, which buffs them up, makes them more to like a... But we have Infernal Guard with great weapons. Speaking of elite infantry, these guys theoretically should be fantastic elite infantry, but they're not. They trade down into other elite infantry, even with Dark Renown. It's just, they just don't have that great melee attack and melee stats. 46 is pretty good for melee defense, but issues 32, and yeah, they just aren't that fantastic. But I like them, they're cool. We also have the Immortals and more Infernal Guard, double Infernal Guard, Blazing Beards, double Bull Centaur Renders with great weapons, very elite from the Chaos Dwarves, and another great weapon. Forest, I love it. I love this. No range component at all. Full elite, which is very unfortunate because they're up against Tomb Kings who have brought some range components, being the Great Bows. 2 of them, one being the Chosen of the Gods, which is fantastic against elite infantry. That's it sucks a lot. But you know what you're up against. You have a bone giant as well, big old boner giant too. So a lot of elite range components to have to deal with, unfortunately. I can imagine the amount of dead Immortals that are going to be seen on the floor before they get into the field. Rather, Infernal Guard, excuse me. Sphinx of Ukeft as well. The ROR Necrosphinx, pretty good anti-large duelist. Can do some pretty good work into the Bull Centaur Renders with support from the Skeleton Warriors and Nehekar Warriors as well, which will get brutalized by Infernal Guard, unfortunately. Looks like a whole mismatch on both sides a bit. We do have Cetra on a Necrosphinx with great work into it. Well, as you have Incantation of Vengeance, which will slow them down and then do solid damage into Incantation of Protection, Curse Blades, and Wrath of Patra, and then Necro are really good. In general, as they have collision attacks and solid AP. Already feeling a bit bad for the Chaos Dwarves here. Drazov takes a Bone Giant shot. Why are you shooting at Drazov with a Chosen of the Gods? I mean, I guess that's fine. He is taking a bit of damage. But I would much rather you shoot at, say, the Immortals or something. I guess it doesn't matter if you have infantry killing power with Cetra and the Necropolis Knights with the Helm. We definitely would prefer it on the Infernal Guard. Incantation of Vengeance going down on them, slowing them down and doing solid damage. Another Boner Giant shot on poor Drazov here. I love Drazov, but man, he gets sniped out so freaking easily. But Sphinx of Ukep is in there, getting some solid work there, chopping apart a Chaos Dwarf. Skeleton Warriors take a brutal blasting charge there from the Blazing Beard, just absolutely being annihilated. Oh my god. Those poor skeletons being sent back into the stand from where they came. Oh, brutal hammer just ripping through the skeleton warriors. If it wasn't just skeleton warriors, it'd be more dramatic, but oh my god, look at that. Yeah, the mortals made mincemeat of the Nehakara warriors, and that's exactly what you expect right there. Mortals heavily armored, 125, 4650 with bonus infantry and flaming and magical attacks. Like, these guys are elite. Makes sense. They chopped them apart like butter. Skeleton Spearmen making their way to the backline. Boner Giant is compromised by the great weapons, along with the great Necropolis Knights as well. You need to take their order off the Chosen of the Gods and just keep on the Boner Giant. Or if they do want to keep their order on the Chosen of the Gods. Actually, was that the other one that was? No, yeah, it is this one. Yeah, keep them in the fight with the Necropolis Knights. Sandwich them in with the Bull Center Renders. Shut down those Necropolis Knights. Then shut down the Chosen of the Gods as they have more availability. So once you finish off those Necro Knights, and then one of those Renderers on these guys, and another Renderer in on the Boner Giant surrounded, or on the other shop team. As you do have the mobility advantage. Base, Renderers on top of Cetra, have body blocked him in. Can he get out of there? He has the mass for it. Can he do it? He needs to get out of there, as this is very, very bad for Cetra. Oh no, he is crumbling. He's disintegrating. Down to 2100 HP. He really needs to get out of there. When you're surrounded like this, you need to go out this way through the infantry rather than the Renderers. Go out this way. But I guess for some reason he's still stuck on it. I guess he gets like one of these two models and he gets hit. What was that? Oh no, was it like a bone giant friendly fire? What the heck was that? Oh my god, he got destroyed. Oh, that is so unfortunate. And the Sphinx of Ushep was just in combat with the Infernal Guard. It could have been helping with these Bull Center Renders. It desperately needed to help Cetra. And he gets shut down. Cetra is gone. But will Trazov get routed off? No, he won't. He will make his way out of there. And Infernal Guard and Bull Center Renderers will be able to shut down the Sphinx of Ushep, as he has no support either. Oh, this is so unfortunate. And he's being sent to try to go after Trazov, when instead he should be just forced, when he should be just being left his attack order on the Bull Center Renders, or to make their way through the Infernal Guard. Oh, this is so unfortunate. I think the Tomb Kings are going to lose it here because of that. Bone Giant get another shot there possibly. No, they're not on guard mode and they're not being forced to shoot. Definitely think the Tomb Kings get out here. Quite unfortunate. We do even get the that basically really bad spirit leech there from Trazov, but it's just not enough. It's pretty not good. Can't believe it. I thought with the builds there, I thought the Tomb Kings would easily take it, but oh no, man. The dreadful plays from the Tomb Kings. That was so unfortunate. So unfortunate. $692, 1094. I really think it was a big mistake having to that Trazov. Trying to snipe him out as a foot-based character is not worth it at all. Rather, the Bone Giant consistently fire at the Bull Center Renderers, and the Ushopti shoot at the elite infantry like the Immortals, because they can do pretty good work late game if you don't to kill them. Yeah, Cetra got too greedy and got surrounded. They didn't have any support from the Necro Knights. Bone Giant got some good value at 1019, 760. Necro Knight. Renderers did fantastic work. 2403, 1718, and Immortals got 1000 value. And the freaking Infernal Guard, the first time I've seen them pay for themselves, they did a fantastic 1351 with the great weapons there. Beautiful. Alright, so if still got 692, not bad. Super cool Chaos Dwarf Elite. I love when Chaos Dwarf Warriors players go elite. So freaking. I just wish Trazov was a. Other than that, awesome. Can't believe that worked. Well played to both players. Better luck next time. Solid work though from both players again. Alright guys, I wanted to do another one. I still have a few left, but I was about to delete the wrong one. Not sure how many people are still here, but if you guys are still here, really appreciate you guys hanging out, watching the replays. Sorry if I didn't get to any of yours. If can, I've been saying this. I've been trying to plan weekly streams, but I gotta say, I'm gonna fess up. Social anxiety and other mental illnesses make it very hard to stream sometimes. So I'm trying my best. I will try to stream this week if I can to finish the rest of the replays, even the grand finals from the previous tournament. We'll see. No promises. I'll try my best though. Again, things make it hard. It's not even like other things that are keeping up my time. It's just anxiety and then the heat and depression as well. But on a lighter note, thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate you guys watching. And good job from everybody today playing in today's tournament. Hope you guys had a lot of fun. Thanks, Potato. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciated all of you guys, and I'll continue to appreciate all of you guys for hanging out. I hope to see you guys again in the next stream or in the next tournament. Either way, thank you guys once again. Have a good weekend. Catch you guys next time. Bye bye.